Hey guys, so today is Wednesday, September 16th, um, and I just wanted to create another video. I just was walking on the way to the bathroom, and there was a spider on the door frame halfway up from the door jamb. So, I mean, the door, the area where the doorknob kind of turns into the little slot there. And I just wanted to talk about some of the torture that they do with creatures. I know I talked about this before in some of my other videos, my introductory videos, but they specifically use your greatest fears against you. And I don't like spiders. I mean, I have a phobia of them. I don't even know if it's, come to think of it, mine or theirs, that they've implanted in me. And also, I startle easily. I never used to startle easily, actually, but that started right around where a lot of the bad stuff started, which was the exponential stuff, which is when I moved up here to the Bay Area in 2007. But yeah, I just walked over to the bathroom, which they had me get up and go to the bathroom, and quickly, and as I got really close to the door, there it was on the door jamb. And this is a punishment that they give me rather regularly, especially since the gang stalking started, and have been doing in my life. Like I'll go places and I'll stay over friends' homes, or go when you go snowboarding or do something like that. You'll stay over, and I'll go into the shower, and there'll be like this big black spider or just a spider. Like they're all different colors, really, and it'll be under the soap, or it'll come out as you're showering and kind of fall down. Um, you know, and it's to punish the targeted individual. For the layperson who's listening, they will think you're crazy. But if you've listened to any of my introductory videos, you know that as a targeted individual, there are a myriad of tools that they use to torture you. Um, and it's animals as well. They'll have animals barking. They'll have like I think I mentioned in my other video that there was a mouse. There are all kinds of things that come out, and specifically timed to when you are going to engage with it. And it's just difficult to explain. I'm just trying to think of it from the place of someone who is not gang stalked. But and they do things in preparation before they scare you with the spider. So, for instance, today, well, actually, the last 2 or 3 days, they've been channeling images of spiders into my head, day in and day out. And then today, as I was watching the YouTube videos on the right, YouTube has algorithms for what you watch, and I don't watch spider videos. And on the right in the middle, really big, was a video on, I don't know what kind of spider it was. It was like a big tarantula or something. And that's when I knew something was coming soon. And lo and behold, I think that was like 6 hours ago. I walked to the bathroom, and there's a spider right there. I get like within inches of it before I notice it, which is the whole point. Um, and it's, for various reasons. Today, I have a new gang stalker neighbor with the a personalized license plate, black wheels, tinted windows, which is the typical gang stalking kind of a car. I've uploaded hundreds of photos on my Facebook profile of these cars. There'll be hundreds of them that are following me, tailgating me, flashing their lights at me, within a very short time frame, like maybe like a 20-minute errand. So if you are seeing black and yellow license plate, if you're seeing shiny license plates, if you're seeing cars flash high beaming you, or one light on and one light off, you see out of state license plates, you see paper license plates. You see these license plates that are dangling or dented or covered with a plastic covering, which is unusual. Have you ever seen a license plate with a plastic covering? And usually they are very boorish looking, and they have boorish looking people behind them. These are their pawns, their minions. So these are the things that they do. But today there was a new gang stalking. There's a few new gang stalking neighbors that moved in, and she's obviously a gang stalker. She's obviously a harasser. She's hired by the this cabal. It sounds kind of conspiracy theories, but when anybody ever tells you about something or someone's deemed a conspiracy theorist, take them seriously, because that's what the word conspiracy theorist, the government created that to discount people who are trying to tell you the truth of what's really going on. But she's obviously a gang stalker. The way she's acting, the way she's behaving, very, how do I explain it? Very cloyingly fake. When I said, I'm being harassed and I'm not going to talk to you because I know you're a harasser. And her response was, I've never harassed anyone my entire life. And so it's kind of like with that tone and kind of cloyingly fake, and the big huge black wheels, and the personalized plate. And then there's like 3 or 4 personalized plates with that kind of a profile, the cars in and around, parked in front of my house and that were parked in the back. I have proof of all this. I have the photos. And I even have a photo of a license plate that says "I'm free one." That it was black and yellow, I think, that one, and basically taunting you, saying I'm free and you're not. You're being gang stalked. You're being isolated. You are a dissident, and for being an atheist or being someone we don't like, or not being because I sent mean emails to people who were racist and misogynistic and so on and so forth. But yeah, so this is what they did just now. And, I also curse their God, because I think it pisses them off. I'm not quite sure, but I think it does. So I say, fuck God, fuck Yahweh, fuck Allah, fuck Adonai, fuck Elohim. I mean, there's so many words for God, right? Or sometimes try to tell me with their minions on Twitter that they're Satanists or Luciferians. I don't know which one they are. I could be saying fuck God and they're like, yeah. Or I could be saying fuck God and they're like pissed. But I just, whatever the case is, I try to cover the whole gamut so I can piss them off. And they're trying to get me to work, right? So they're trying to get me to sign up for some entrepreneurial, you know, opportunity. First, they sent me, Amazon training that was online for Singapore, and then they sent me Amazon Accelerate, and then now they sent me a link to sign up for a small business loan through Golden Gate University, which was a webinar that they did about 10 days ago, and I have that recorded and also put on my laptop as well. The people involved, which I'm sure probably all of them, if not all of them, half of them or more, I think all of them probably are gang stalkers in the network. I'm not going to do it. I'm done with this because I don't deserve this, first of all. I've done nothing to deserve any of this. And I know that. It's not even, I don't have a doubt in my mind. I don't have a drop of guilt saying that. This has been going on my entire life. Ever since I was young. I was told by another gang stalker who's part of the Bay Area Support Group .org, which is a gang stalking shill front. And the woman there said that she had that tone in her voice that you psychopaths have, which is almost like or maybe I felt it, because empaths, normal people like me, who are not maggots like you, we can feel things. I'm sure of it, because I just, you guys don't have the same vibe. You don't have emotions like we do, like normal people do. And so when I was talking to her in the very beginning, when I thought that she was real and the Bay Area Support Group was real, she said that she was talking seriously about two other targeted individuals. One who she said, oh, I don't think she's going to make it, that she was going to kill herself. And she didn't sound sympathetic at all. It did, but it had an air of sadistic enjoyment. And then she said another time, I forget her name, otherwise I would share it like it matters, about a 19-year-old. She said, can you imagine being a 19-year-old and being a targeted individual? And here's my spiel on the 19-year-old. Here's why you guys are wrong. And if this was just one story and this was the only story, this would be enough. But there are so many stories like this. Why you guys are just loser piece of shit dirtbags. That you're nothing, you're the worst of the worst of humanity. You are the cowards of the cowards. You are the lowlifes of the lowlifes. I mean, I've met so many of you, and you have no redeeming qualities. You're all losers. You have low intellect. You are very, very cowardly. I can see the shame in a lot of your eyes, at least for some of you that still have some, like maybe lower on the spectrum of empathy. Maybe you're like 1, 2, or 3. You still feel a little bit of shame for what you're doing. Thank goodness. And it's like here's the reason why the 19-year-old, a 19-year-old. You know what a 19-year-old is to me, a normal person who has sympathy and empathy? They're a child. They're a kid. Okay, their brain isn't. As a friend pointed out, and she had a good point, which I didn't know, and I changed my viewpoint based on this new information. She said, your frontal lobe doesn't really fully form until you're about 25, and I'm paraphrasing here, and you're not really fully able to make good decisions. You're more impulsive. You're just not fully grown and mature until about 25, she said. And that makes a lot of sense, because when we're that young, we're stupid. We believe that we are invincible. We think we know everything. We don't have the frame of reference of age, and so on and so forth. So you people have a 19-year-old in your net as a targeted individual. And I said, how is he doing? She's like, he's not doing well. He's freaking out. Can you imagine you're doing this to children? And let me give you 2 scenarios. Your scenario is you take this 19-year-old and you're blaming him for whatever he did. Maybe you're blaming him for whatever he did. Maybe it's because he's part of a family, that some loser Mason, Freemason, or, secret society guy, or maybe politician, definitely a loser, has a grudge against and is doing this to this kid. Maybe he, it didn't start out well in life and he's doing some bad things, whatever they may be. Whatever you decide, this is what I would do. Instead of gang stalking him and destroying his life and torturing him and following him around like the thug maggots that you are, I would have not necessarily known to him, sent him mentors his way. You have mind control technology that you use to rape women. Well, instead of doing that, I would use that mind control technology to make him think that maybe he needs to go to therapy, or maybe he needs to take mind balancing drugs. Maybe he has BPD, borderline personality disorder, or maybe he's bipolar, or maybe he was abused when he was a little kid and he needs to bring those emotions out. So I would program the AI or whatever computer that you have to go off and do certain things and make people think certain things, which I know you have, to get therapy, get a job, work 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, even if it's freaking McDonald's, take that money and go weekly to a very high quality therapist, psychotherapist, maybe like one that you pay $200 to $300 a week, and work on himself, work for the next 10 years. I mean, just relentless work on yourself. Make him go volunteer, surround him with good people who give him good advice, put a great girlfriend in his life who can bring him out of that. Once you do that and you surround that person with so much light, I believe truly that probably 99% of people can be helped instead of tortured and gang stalked. That's what I would do. If I had all that money and those resources, that's what I would do. See, now you do the opposite. You destroy people's lives, you have them beat, you have them raped, you steal their money from them. You've done this to me so many times where now I realize I was set up to work, to come in contact with certain people to steal my money. It must be some sort of system where you get rewarded, or you get a bonus for doing that if you screw over a targeted individual, and so on and so forth. And slowly, You do one thing and you change that path. Let's say you screw up him getting a job. So you took him, he was going down a certain path where he might have got that job on his own and improved himself, and then you threw him off that destiny into another path. Then you do something else down the line where you cause a fight with a girlfriend that he had, that maybe things would have, if things would have worked out, they would have gotten married and he would have grown up because he had a kid or whatever. Who knows? You keep doing that to that person's life, and you're creating these diverging pathways farther and farther and farther away from who they would have been. And you do it all for greed, money, and you do it all maybe for some other people. I know for sure Lavina from Las Vegas, oh my God, she believes in God and she's a horrible person. A horrible, horrible person. Rage issues, says that she doesn't hold grudges and she forgets everything and you just have to do it, but then is cruel to people and thinks that sits on a high horse. Completely hypocrite, typical Christian hypocrite, and tortures people and pretends to be their friend when they're not. And these are the people that you surround these people with, and people who are passionate and empathic. We know there's something wrong with you. I knew there was something wrong with Lavina, and I knew there was something wrong with Sandra and Hassan and Sean and all these people that you put into my life, and Dana here in Oakland. I knew there was something wrong with you, and in my mind I was like, there's something wrong with you. Not when the gang stalking started. Consistently and throughout the times that I knew these people, I was like, they don't seem like they have emotions. I thought Dana was a sociopath, or a malignant narcissist. All these things. I thought these things. And so if I'm thinking that, then that 19-year-old is thinking that, and we don't want to connect with you. Our instincts, our emotions, we can sense it, and we don't want to get close to you. We have reservations about you, and it's hard for us to trust already because you're gang stalking and sabotaging us left and right with people. So you're doing nothing to help this person. You're doing nothing. You're driving them towards a destiny that you're causing, which is sabotage, making bad choices, becoming misanthropic, so on and so forth. And for very honorable people like me that have a lot of integrity and have principles, I've been blamed because I'm too principled and I'm too ethical. My gosh, these are great qualities. Why would any subhuman, complain about these things? Well, it's because there's something wrong with you and not me. So, that one example of what you could do, what good people would do for a 19-year-old. They would crowd around and try to lift him up. That's what good people would do, even if he did something horrible. Let's say he crucified a cat, or let's say he raped a girl, gave her some date rape drug. Horrific, right? Horrific. Not as horrific as what you guys do. You're on a freaking different dimension. You guys deserve bad, horrible deaths. You guys are the worst of the worst. But let's say he makes mistakes like that. Maybe he is higher on the sociopathic scale, okay? But doing all this stuff to him is not going to help. It's the worst thing you could do. You cannot drive out evil with evil. You drive it out with love. And you're so deluded, and you're thinking that you're righteous, or you have this righteous indignation because you believe in God. You don't realize that you are the type of people, if God existed, you'd be the type of people he would damn to hell. You're so deluded. And I also truly believe that you guys are affected by the technology. You are completely, slowly ripped apart, picked apart by the technology. Your empathy is taken from you. Your shame and guilt has been taken from you. It's obvious that happens, because who I know myself like 100%, and I don't even have the same anger and guilt and shame that I used to, and I'm searching for it, right? I'm wading into my emotions, going, where is it? There's no way it can just disappear in 6 months, or less than that, 4 months, 3 months. Where did it go? Guess where it went? It's impossible for emotions like that to disappear overnight, and that's the technology. So I'm not okay with being turned into a zombie, because guess what? I have ethics, I have a moral compass, I have principles. I'd rather die than become a zombie like you guys and take these little scraps being thrown at me to work this little business and be a slave and be, for the rest of the remainder of my life, short, I'm sure it'll be short though it will be, to be tortured and to be isolated. I choose death. I would rather choose death over that. And you won't even let me do that. What does all of this say about you, the gang stalkers, the losers, the sellouts, the traitors, the thieves stealing taxpayer money, lying to yourselves and telling yourselves that it's for the good of the country? You do realize that all of you and the stealing of this money is what is causing all of the strife and the negativity and the hate in this country, in this world. Let me give you another example. Police officers. I recently discovered through this gang stalking experience that police officers are pretty much all of them that has been told to me by you. This is not information that I have come up with on my own. You have sent this information to me, a tidal wave of information to me about how police officers are all part of secret societies or fraternal brotherhoods or order of this, or whatever it is, Freemasons. And that also sent to me how you all have an oath to each other over justice, over the people, over doing your duty that the public thinks you should be doing. So like, even that's an indication of corrupt, greedy, psychopathic behavior. And because they're like that, they steal, they rape. This has all been in the news. Obviously, the killings, obviously, the arrests, the brutality, all of it. And this has been going on for decades. So a logical person would look at this, and even if you strip my emotion away, we all make decisions with emotions. It's just the way we're built. But if you strip them away and just looked at the facts of how for decades the police have been abusing their power, and they have been, because they have been. I know they have been, and maybe some of you don't know they have been. They probably don't tell you everything. Like family members who are police officers, they probably don't even tell you all the horrible things they've done. Like that police officer, the half Asian, half white one that was raping black women when he was pulling them over. His family didn't know he was like that. So you actually don't know the extent of how bad police officers are. Let me tell you, I do. I probably don't even know all of it. Really corrupt, real huge rage issues, psychopaths on the top 10 list of professions that usually attract psychopaths. And so this has been going on, and the karma has been building and building, and the negative karma and that black sludge that literally police officers have been shoveling and flipping it onto themselves, that black shit karma, is finally taking its toll. It's probably been taking its toll the whole time. Deaths, getting shot, so many things that are happening. But now we all see it because of the internet and the phones. That's another example. That's what you guys are doing. You are the bad guy shoveling shit onto yourself because you are blind to your psychopathic actions. And this karma, I have seen come on top of you in a natural way, meaning I'm not doing anything to you. I'm not pointing directed energy weapons at you. I see you guys, weird things happening to you. Weird effing things, like getting cancer in your body the size of a grapefruit, but a growth in a weird place. Another woman I met who was a gang stalker had this weird cancer on her fucking face. Another, the crazy Christian lady from Vegas, her son got shot in New York. All of her friends dying constantly. Another one who was so unhappy in his life, he just drank every day, and you could see it. He was just, his name's, he worked in Foster City and was a VP of artificial intelligence, and his wife and him separated, and she hated him so much that she didn't want to give him a child. So he secretly had a child with a woman at work. And the woman at work covered it up and said, oh, it was a boyfriend that I had. She couldn't give the name, couldn't give who he was. And it's shameful. He's miserable. And I could go on. Every single one of you that I know, that I've met, there's something major going on in your life. That karma is raining down on you. And it's hilarious to me that you would not you'd be this deluded to be involved with something that could hurt your children, that could hurt your partner, it's just slowly seeping into you and your core and your atoms and your subnuclear at the subnuclear level, and it's festering and it's growing. There's no amount of prayer or incantations that can protect you. If that kind of stuff exists, that can protect you from natural karma, or I like to say natural bad energy being constantly channeled towards you like a tidal wave. All the people that you're hurting, the targeted individuals, the people that you cheat, that you scam to try to get their money, all of that is bad energy that you are perpetuating and flowing to you and through you. Another woman, her name was Liz, that I work for here in I think she was out of Colorado, though I can't remember. Her son has like some major freaking disease, and it just kills her. And she's a horrible person. I've worked with her. She's a horrible person. You guys are horrible people. But the thing is like you don't know that you think you're not. You delude yourself into thinking that you're not by saying this is for America, or this is a spiritual war, and she's an atheist, and Satan has her, and God, she's so hateful. You see things like this when you start it all with like the 19-year-old. Instead of forgiving him and forgetting and helping him with love, with the tidal wave of love, right? Because he's 19, he's a child. You destroy him instead. You guys are cockroaches. You're the bottom of the barrel, pieces of shit. And there's no way you can talk yourself around the 19-year-old example, the police brutality, the rapes, the false arrests for decades, protecting themselves when they lie or get in trouble or do something illegal over the public, or overdoing what's right and telling the truth. This all adds up, and it just comes towards you. And mark my words, I have like no doubt. The people that are involved in this network, you gang stalkers, you maggots, it's like another one bites the dust. That's your life. Another one bites the dust, and it's natural. It's natural. It's not. There's no one doing this to you. It's happening in the energy. The ether of the world is fucking punishing you. Whereas me, I'm being punished because some human being got pissed. Period. Or I got chosen for some military MK Ultra thing, or I pissed some Freemason off, and I've been sent messages that if I piss one person off, then they can destroy the rest of your life. Well, that's not natural karma, darlings. It ain't not your natural karma. And since so many of you are superstitious, ignorant like that, if I were like a smart person, I'm an intelligent person, I would run for the hills. I would never be involved with this network. I would never do anything they say. And if I signed something that said I'm going to be arrested for treason if I say something, fine. I won't say anything, but I would do everything in my power to get away, because I wouldn't want me or my family to get hurt. It's your poor judgment, born from an incomplete mind that has poor judgment, based on your greed, based on being overcome by your narcissism and your psychopathy, that got you in your position where you are right now. At some point there was a road, and you had a choice to do the right thing and the wrong thing, and you went down the wrong path. So send your spiders, send your irradiating my legs all day yesterday, the day before yesterday, with directed energy weapons. I'm not going to submit to you. I don't want what you want me to do, which is live, which is the weirdest thing, because I thought it was suicide that you want us, that was the end road. I'm not going to do it. There's no way I'm going to do it. So, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is it's wrong. It's wrong. You're disgusting people. You are disgusting people. And the most cowardly people I've ever encountered. I didn't even realize how cowardly people could be until I've gone through this mess. I feel sorry for you guys. I pity you. It must be really just jarring to know that you are like damaged goods and somehow defective, and that somehow you sold your soul. You sold your soul for money, greed, security. You run on fear. You delude yourself every day about how you're a good person, and that someone like me, who is a little nobody, has so much strength and so much spirit, is blamed for being ethical and fair and principled when those are traits to be lauded. Those are traits to be lauded. And I'm still this way after just torture beyond comprehension. Like, none of you have been tortured this way. You don't know. Your whole families have been ripped away. Your mother wasn't murdered. Your career wasn't stolen. So I am still, look at me. I have my spirit. I am a good person. Everything that I've done in the past, not my fault. Not my fault. It has all been set up, sabotaged, pushed that way for some reason. That's the only thing I don't know. For some reason beyond my knowledge. And if you're going to start that early from birth or from 19, I would never blame that kid for whatever he did after. Whatever he did after, I wouldn't blame him. I would feel sympathy for the kid, and I do feel sympathy for the kid. Who I do not feel sympathy for is for you all. You all deserve very like awful deaths. Really, you do. Um, and if you can get out of this, if you can atone, I would atone. I really would. I will probably not be around by the time whatever hits happens, but this is what I'll say. Remember the 1st of September, 2020. Remember the 1st of September, because it's gonna happen, and it's probably not gonna be just one thing. Anyways, I'll leave you with that, and hopefully you can go stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself you're a good person, because I know you can't.